Hey everyone, and welcome. So, we're going to dive into a paradox that feels so now. In a world that's all about wellness and self care, why is it so incredibly hard to just stop, to actually rest? Let's get into it. I mean, really, why? This question probably hits pretty close to home for a lot of you. You finally carve out a moment for yourself, a real chance to do absolutely nothing. And what happens? Instead of feeling that sweet relief, you get this wave of guilt. Let's unpack that feeling. So picture this. You've done it. The work is finished, your inbox is at 0 or close enough, and the chores are all done. You finally sit down on the couch, you take a deep breath, and you're ready to recharge. The schedule is empty. This is your time. And then, nope. Almost instantly, that sense of peace just shatters. Your brain, instead of powering down with you, decides to boot up a whole new program full of tasks, worries, and what-ifs. It's like it's created a to-do list specifically for your downtime. Sound familiar? It's that nonstop mental chatter, isn't it? The shoulds just start piling up. I should just answer that one last email. Wait, did I forget to meal prep for the week? I could be learning a new skill right now. And then comes the big one, that nagging little voice that whispers, are you just wasting time? Everyone else is probably out there being super productive. So this brings us to what we can call the paradox of rest. It's this bizarre, frustrating experience where the very act of doing nothing ends up feeling like the hardest, most stressful work you could possibly do. So what on earth is going on? And wow, this table really just lays it all out, doesn't it? Look at the difference between the promise and the reality. We go into rest hoping to recharge, but what do we get? Guilt. We're looking for creativity and we're hit with anxiety. We want peace, but our brain is just constantly planning the next thing. We're left feeling behind, not recovered. It's the ultimate bait and switch. This quote absolutely nails the root cause. A huge piece of this comes from this cultural pressure we're all under. It's not just about working hard anymore. Now we're told we have to optimize every single moment. Our hobbies, our workouts, even our sleep has to be optimized for peak performance. Rest just becomes another thing on the checklist to get right. And what happens is that pressure from the outside, it works its way in. It becomes this little voice in our own heads. We start to believe, whether we realize it or not, that our value as a person is directly tied to our output, what we do, what we make, what we accomplish. So when we stop producing, even for a second, that inner critic pops up and says, so what are you even good for? Okay, so we figured out this is a really common, really frustrating feeling. It is definitely not just you. It's a pattern, a specific mindset. And with any pattern, the first step to really understanding it and maybe changing it is to give it a name. Which brings us to the diagnosis. We're going to give this whole feeling a name, and we're calling it the uneasy rest mindset. And there it is, the uneasy rest mindset. It's that moment when the work part of your brain just refuses to clock out. It follows you into your free time, and it poisons it with all that guilt and anxiety. It's basically the feeling that you are failing at relaxing. Right. To put it another way, it's like you're turning your time off into another task to be graded. Was my weekend an achievement? Did I relax optimally? As soon as you start thinking like that, you know you're stuck deep in this mindset. But here is the really good news. Just putting a name to this thing, it's incredibly powerful because we're making a shift here. We're moving away from just feeling guilty about it to becoming aware of it. And that awareness, that's where the change begins. So here's a really simple, practical way to think about it. First, just recognize it. The next time you're trying to watch a movie and that guilt starts creeping in, don't just push it away. Acknowledge it. Second, name it. Just say to yourself, okay, this is that uneasy rest mindset. And finally, number 3, question it. Ask yourself, hey, where's this pressure even coming from? Who says I need to be productive right now? And that right there is the biggest takeaway. You don't need some complicated life hack to fix this. The real power is just in understanding it. Because once you can recognize and name this pattern, you can separate yourself from it. You start to see that it's just a learned habit, not some fundamental truth about who you are. And that's how you start to take its power away. So, I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. What if we completely reframed how we think about rest? Instead of seeing it as the absence of productivity, what if we decided that doing nothing was actually our most important, most essential task of the day? Something to think about.